Hey guys, it's Aquilyn with Everyday Husband Quotes. So today I wanted to talk with you about something so simple, but something I feel like couples argue about all the time. And whether you're newlywed, whether you're dating, whether you've been married for several years, I'm sure this topic of discussion has come up in your home at some point or another. And it's laundry. You know, when me and my husband first got together, we didn't have a washer and dryer in our home. As a matter of fact, I did not know how to sort clothes. I didn't know how to use bleach, washing powder. I didn't even know what type of washing powder we should be using, and I definitely did not know how to store a washer or a dryer. So my husband took over the role of doing our laundry. We did not have a washer and dryer in our home, so we had to go to a laundromat where we stayed at, which we stayed in an apartment complex. And so he would do that. He did that for a long time. As a matter of fact, he had a wash day, which was Sunday, unless he got an earlier day to wash. But Sundays was pretty much, you know, we went to church, we came home, he washed. Monday through Friday, he worked. Saturday, he may have had to run a couple of errands, but Sunday evenings was really the time when he washed. And if he washed earlier during the week, it was because he was trying to beat the crowd on Sundays. You know how that crowd be. Everybody seemed to wash their clothes on Sundays to start a new week. It's just something that, you know, we delay the process of doing. But usually he would wash on Sundays. And so, you know, being his wife, being his girlfriend at the time, I wanted to take on that responsibility, not because, you know, it was something that women should do, because not all women do it, but it was just something that I wanted to learn for myself to be self-sufficient. So he taught me, and eventually he ended up buying a washer and dryer to put in our apartment complex. So, you know, I was very happy for it. I was like, oh, thank you, husband, for this nice gift and stuff. But eventually I ended up hating doing laundry. And I'm going to tell you why. I hated doing laundry because I felt like I was not getting the praise that I deserved. Here I am washing all of your clothes and stuff, and you can't say thank you. And, you know, I have learned that men are just very different than expressing themselves than women. So he probably thought that, you know, he was doing a good deed when he bought the washer and dryer for our apartment at the time, instead of making me walk all the way to the laundromat to wash clothes. I had to learn how to appreciate that, you guys. And just thinking back on it, I don't ever recall telling my husband, thank you for going to the laundromat, thank you for going to the store to buy some quarters to put in, you know, because you got to use quarters to put in a slide. Thank you for going to the store to get the quarters. You know, I don't ever recall telling him thank you. I just remember taking my clothes out, the dirty clothes hamper, and putting them in a pile so that they can get washed along with everything else that was dirty in the house. And so, not to say that, you know, I wasn't thankful, but I just think it was just my husband just doing what he was supposed to do. You know, I didn't know how to do it at the time, so he picked up the slack of what I didn't know how to do. And if this is an issue in your home, something as simple as laundry, this is what I want to say. Most of the time when we have an issue with our spouse, or if we're bickering about something, you know, we're festering about something, or we holding on to grudges and stuff, usually it's something that we have an issue with, not necessarily the other person. Because I'm gonna tell you, if me and my husband both have an issue with the same thing, we talk about it. But if I have an issue with something and he does it, we don't talk about it. He don't say anything, and then when I go to him, he's like, oh, well, I really never knew you had an issue with it. So at one time, moving on down the line, you know, I used to tell my husband, I hate washing your clothes. I hate washing your work clothes. It seemed like that, you know, you don't ever help me. And as a matter of fact, we just got finished with laundry, and he went the whole week without washing any work clothes. All I could do was just laugh, because I remember when I really had an issue with him washing his clothes. And I mean, sometimes I still kind of have an issue, because I feel like, you know, that his clothes, his dirty clothes are piled up on one side of the bed, or he doesn't put the clothes in the dirty clothes, he doesn't put the towels in the dirty clothes hamper, or when he washes his face in the morning, he doesn't put the dirty towel in the dirty clothes. You know, sometimes it just kind of make me upset. And so I have learned to address it, and I've also learned how to master it so that it will not be an issue anymore. If laundry is just one of those things that just really gets under your skin, learn how to take fulfillment out of it and enjoy it. And if you just feel like that you never ever will enjoy it, pray about it. if prayer isn't helping, then I suggest going to your husband. You know, my husband, he works out of the home. He works very long hours and things like that. And so sometimes he rarely has time to even look up and say, hey, boo, I'm out of work clothes. You know, did you wash some clothes? Are there some clothes in the dryer? Are those some clothes in the laundry room? I need some work clothes. And so what I've learned is I've learned to schedule certain days out of the week to wash clothes. And I also have asked my husband, you know, if you see me falling behind on laundry, then go ahead and wash some clothes. It's not going to hurt you to pick up some clothes and wash. And also try your best to look ahead of the week, because if your husband is anything like mine, in the morning he go to that same drawer and he just look for what he looking for, and he don't even realize, okay, I'm taking out my last pair of pants for the week, or I'm taking out my last shirt, I'm taking out my last pair of socks. I need to go ahead and wash clothes. And so that's what we have to learn how to do. We have to learn how to talk through our issues, work through them. And sometimes it is not as big as it seems. And I can't tell you how many times I have blown up on my husband about laundry, but I have learned, you know, just to talk it out. And if it's really something that I feel like that we both don't have an issue with, then I've learned, you know, maybe the issue was within myself, maybe the issue was with me. And I know that we try to put on this persona that we're superwoman and we want everything perfect, nice and tidy. So sometimes I think for some of us that's just built into our DNA, but you have to take those barriers down and realize that you're not superwoman. You can't do everything. You can't save everybody in the household. And just know that if laundry doesn't get done today, there's always tomorrow. If laundry doesn't get done in the morning, there's always the afternoon. Learn how to deal with the issue before it becomes a giant in your marriage.